Let me turn up my volume because I feel like my volume is low. Imagine I'm talking and y'all can't hear me. What's up? Happy Wednesday. Sorry, y'all. I'm just like, I'm like tired but energized, so I feel like I'm like glitching. Hence the, you know what I mean? Oh my goodness. I put makeup on today, and I don't think I put makeup on since my cousin's birthday party earlier this month. And I lost my brow stuff, so my brows look a little crazy, but it's okay. How y'all doing today? Y'all doing good? I'm doing good. I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired, but you know, I'm committed to the cause. I'm committed to the cause. If anybody out there knows of a space other than my home where I can do this, shoot a girl a DM, because I'm looking to like change some things in the best way possible. Also, I recently started a new job, so I've been like slacking on the guest getting, and I don't have any guests for October. So if you or someone you know would be interested in coming on for the month of October, shoot me a DM. I have a hat on because I need a haircut. I have a sweater on because I'm cold. The temperature dropped. And it's giving winter really, really quickly. But it's okay because I'm always prepared for it. My favorite seasons are fall and winter because I like to layer up. You know, I like a nice coat, and I got a new one. Oh, no. We ain't going to talk about that. I'm going to just stunt whenever I stunt. Y'all. So before we get started, this is what I'm going to ask you to do. Send this live to everybody because we're going to have some fun tonight. So while you send to your people, I'm going to send to my people, and then we're going to have like a party on IG on a Wednesday night. It's hump day. You know what I should have did? I should have sent our next guest like a bottle or something, and then we could take shots. Nah, we're not going to do that. We're shifting and having some laughs along the way. So, hi. No, we're going to send to everybody first. Ready, set, go. Send to everybody. Send to everybody. Send to everybody. I'm sending to people that I don't even know. I sent it to TV1, y'all. Cammie Crawford. Yes, Cammie Crawford. Come on. All right, so I sent it. Did you send it? Can I get like a thumbs up or a heart so I know that y'all sent it so I'm not out here doing this by myself? Please and thank you. So, as always, welcome to Shifts and Giggles, where I reach out into the world to speak to some amazing people that I know and some that I don't, and we get to the shit that leads to shifts and hopefully have some laughs along the way. I'm your host, Rashida Bernice, and today I have my friend on. I like when I have my friends on. She is a director, she is a producer, she is a leader, she's an author, and she always has like gems that I love. And she's also funny and we have like a really good time every time we talk on the phone. I'm talking about none other than Bernice Wooden. So Bernice, where you at? Let's get you in here. Are you in? Did it go through? It went through.
Hello. Ew,
I'm so
ew,
excited. Oh
ew,
snap. Oh
ew.
wait, is that gold on the shirt?
It is.
Okay, you got gold on the shirt,
You
gold on the
know,
earrings, gold on the beats.
you know.
Gold, you got
Just
gold
look.
on your nails? Oh, you got silver. Mm.
You know what that
I know
means.
what that means. When are you seeing the queen?
I see the Queen on Sunday. It is her final stop
Oh
in the U.S.
my goodness. That's
Yes.
so exciting. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
I be watching everybody's like stuff and I'd be like, oh, I wish I was there. I'm gonna be doing the same thing on yours. So make sure you post everything.
I'm gonna try. I feel like my social media hasn't been up to par how it should be, but I'm creating space that I'm gonna get back into it.
Okay.
And also, if you wanted to send a bottle, a sister, I'll send the address, and then
Okay.
you can invite me back, and then I'll have the bottle for the people.
Okay,
You know.
listen. I can't wait till we get. So I had a thought. Let me tell you, I had a thought for a show, but I can't tell you the thought for the show until we finish this, so that people understand my thought for the show. Oh
Okay.
shoot! Did I mess up my eyeliner? I
A,
sure
li- a
did.
little bit, yes, a
Wait, here
little
we
bit.
go. Here we go. We're gonna fix it.
I thought, oh, that's
Wait.
what you meant. Okay.
Boom.
Okay. Okay.
Do you think? Am I crazy? Is this crazy? Should I just clean it up?
I think you're an artist, and if that's what you want your art to be, sis, then that's what we gonna look at.
Okay. I'm gonna fix it. Because I feel like it's a little bit distracting, actually. But I
Okay,
was
because
gonna
they
rock with
think you
it, and
was
then I was like,
crying.
it looks
The people
distracting.
coming in the room, they're gonna be like, "You crying?" And I'm like, "When you gonna cry?"
No, we're not finna cry today. We're not
I don't
finna
think
cry
so. I don't
today.
think so.
So for those of you who don't know Bernice, introduce yourself to the people.
Yes, my name is Bernice Wooden. I am, like Rashida said, I'm an author. I'm a producer. I work in marketing. I do a lot of things, and I love what I do. So, and I also have a show on Wednesdays called No Hump Wednesdays. We're on a hiatus right now. We will be back soon, though. But you can watch all of my past episodes on my Instagram page at Be Nice Productions.
That's right. And also, y'all, I'm so looking forward to No Hump Wednesdays because it's on a Wednesday and you get a twofer. You get a shift and a giggle, and then you get a no
I'm
hump
just saying.
on a
I'm
Wednesday.
just saying.
It's gonna
Get
be
it all on the
good.
same day.
I feel like, does Instagram have like a network? We should be signed.
Say it again.
I said, does Instagram have like a network? Like we should be signed to the network.
Ooh, they should be have a network.
Right?
They should. Yes, they should.
Exactly. You know how like TJIF, they used to capitalize on Friday. Instagram should capitalize on Wednesday. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
Mm. I guess we got to write a proposal.
We
Now
got it.
something else to do. Thank you, Rashida. Now something else to do.
Sorry. Okay, so
Yeah.
usually when I talk to people, I'm like, what do you want to talk about? What you don't want to talk about? But you were just like, oh, we can talk about anything.
Oh yeah. I'm an open book girl.
Okay, so what are we going to talk about, Bernice? I feel like when I met you, we were working in marketing.
Yes.
And you love what you do.
Yes.
And how did you get started in marketing?
Well, a mutual friend of ours. Shout out to Sky.
Hi, Sky. I gotta get him on here.
Yeah.
I gotta get him on here.
Yeah, get Sky on. But with Sky, he and I went to college together. Shout out to Lehman College in the Bronx. And during that year, once we graduated, I think that it was the following year, he shot me a text message, and it was about a gig. And the gig was for the movie, The Bee Movie. And we had to meet up in Central Park. They were looking for 50 people to dress like a bee. And when we dressed up like a bee, and we did like a 1 hour, like, did we have to do the noise? I don't remember if we had to do the noise or not, but we was all dressed up as bees. And we got paid, I believe, $275 for 2 hours. And I said,
I'm gonna do this again.
It's a wrap. What I got to do for who? Market what? And all of that was dress up. So here, and I'm glad we're kind of having this conversation. Sky's in the room just now. He said, "Damn, you remember that? I remember nothing." Well,
Hi, Sky.
Yes, you're the one who invited me. So yeah, it's all. It was super memorable because of that. I'm like, I'm dressing up in a costume. And here's the thing, right? I was a little bit like judging myself, right? Like I got a college degree. What am I doing
Yeah.
dressed as a bee? Right.
Yeah.
But then I saw the money. I said, oh, I'm not stupid.
Right.
I'm a I'm gonna do the work. I'm gonna
Right.
be present. I'm going to find the gigs that make sense and continue to build my resume
Hmm.
so I can do something like a tour.
Yeah.
So I can, make more money and then not feel as um, judgmental on myself.
Right.
Um, but funny enough, I have one more story about that.
Yes. Yes.
I did another gig on 34th Street, and at the time I was handing out flyers. And
Oh
this is what
God.
I'll say to people out there. When it comes to flyering, do not judge the person who's giving you the flyer because you don't know how much that person's getting paid.
Hmm.
I was getting paid $28 an hour just to give y'all
Uh-huh.
flyers. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
at that time, about 12 years ago, 13 years ago, that wasn't horrible,
Yeah.
money for me to flyer just to hand it out to somebody. So have some more respect for the people giving out
Yeah.
flyers, even though I will never do that again. But
Listen. So listen, I think you here's this. Here's this. I started, so for those of you who don't know, what Bernice is referring to is guerrilla marketing. It's brand ambassador work, but it's not brand ambassador work in the way that we know it now in this age of social media and influencers. When we say guerrilla marketing, think guerrilla warfare, like you are in the streets, okay? Okay? And I don't
yeah,
really, my first job was in Philly, and I met someone in Philly who emailed me a list of things, and they helped me hustle and get my footing. And I was doing a flyering job the day that I saw that they were building the Charmin restrooms in Times Square. And I had seen it the year before, and I was like, I want to do that. And I remember it wasn't built yet. I ran I don't know about you, but my flyering job, at one point they had us wearing a sandwich board.
okay.
And then at another point they had us wearing a backpack with like a poster.
Hmm.
Okay. And I ran across the street with my little sandwich board, or I don't remember which one it was at that point, running across the street. And I was like, hey. They were like, hey. I was like, I seen y'all here last year. And I was wanting to know like how I can get on. And they told me, go to the website, blah, 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 blah. And I did.
Hmm.
And that's where I met you and Sky.
Oh my God. Listen,
Crazy.
listen, we got to talk about Charmin a little bit. And this is no way a reflection of Charmin.
Mm-hmm.
This is no way. This is our personal opinions.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say Charmin was one of the best programs I ever
I
worked
was
on.
just thinking that. It was one of the best.
And listen, y'all thought I was going to be shiesty, but I still have to say that part, low disclaimer.
Uh-huh.
But the thoughts are my own. But yeah, I feel like I've met you. I met so many great people there at that program. It was a little messy though when it comes to the stuff we had to do for work.
Do you want to tell them what we had to do?
All right, I'll spill the beans.
Because also you know how many people don't know what the Charmin restrooms is that are my age, and I'm like, well, where were you in New York?
Right, because that went on for at least 5 years straight in Times Square.
Yeah.
From the Thanksgiving holiday to New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So what it was restrooms. Normally it would be up to 20 restrooms, and our jobs including cleaning the restroom after each use.
So it was marketed as the cleanest restroom in New York
In
City.
New York. Yeah.
And you had in the stall, you had options of which Charmin toilet paper you wanted to use.
Yep.
There was the soft, there was the hard, and then there was the aloe.
Yep.
Remember they did the aloe one that year?
Yep.
And for those of y'all who were like, oh, that's gross. It wasn't a porta potty. They were like toilets.
Yeah.
And it was decorated holiday themed, but like the Charmin commercials, it was like the Charmin commercials threw up in the place.
Yeah. I mean, the decor, honey. We had a stage, y'all. We had a whole stage.
you know, I'm trying to think. I want to name people that work there, but I know some of them might be like, why
Yeah,
you tell people I used to work there?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm not
No
gonna say
names, no
anything. But
names. Yeah.
I got people jobs there, like,
Hmm.
and then I met people who I'm still like in communication with, including you and Sky and Terrence.
Yep.
And hold on one second. Hold on one second, because I got to show you something.
Oh, you got something. Okay, I'm here for it. While Rashida's go grabbing the surprise that she had for us, let me read the comments. Rashida says, "Wait, what? I was today years old. Yes, goddess. It was 5 years. It was, I believe, 2000. Was it 2008 to like 2012? I
It
feel
wasn't
like, or
even
2011.
until 2012, because
8, 9,
I have to do
10, 11.
I have to do this based on my relationships.
Uh oh.
So I think it started in 2007.
Okay, yes, because I wasn't there the first year.
Neither was I. I was
Okay.
there 2008, 9, 10. Oh yeah, you're right. 2011.
Yeah,
Okay.
5 years.
All right. So, I started off as a brand ambassador and worked my way up to team lead.
Mm-hmm.
And one year, team leads got to take something home.
Oh no! Listen, y'all, I'm so jealous. I wanted that jacket so bad. I wanted that so bad. Oh,
I
I'm
love
so
it.
jealous.
I can't really fit it because it's big. But yeah,
Oh my
I was like,
God.
oh,
Y'all were
we can
lucky.
take something home. I'm taking the jacket.
Oh,
I
so lucky. But
wore it.
also, remember, we got a chance to take all the remaining toilet paper left.
That's right. And so we had toilet paper, we had Febreze, we had paper towels, and like lots of it.
Yeah.
I remember I gave my grandmother like a box of toilet paper. She was like, I haven't had to buy toilet paper in like 8 months.
Yeah. Mine lasted the whole year until it was time to do the program again. How about
Again,
that?
listen, the way I was giving out Febreze, I was like, oh, you need a Febreze here.
Yes. I was like, well, thank y'all. Because that's the thing about it. I enjoyed that because as the company itself, they already had a lot of employees. They could have brought that stuff back, but they was like, nah, let's give it to the BAs, the brand ambassadors. Apparently, Sky says, oh, I got the blue one, allegedly.
Wait, so
Allegedly.
are we dressing up as Charming Bears for Halloween? Like, what's up?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Sorry, never mind.
Allegedly.
Maybe, am I going to get in trouble for posting that?
What? That you got the jacket?
Yeah, they sent me the ticket. Okay, well, I got it anyway. It's been
The
like 10
program
years.
is
It's been
only
like 10
years
years.
old.
It's been
Yeah.
11 years old. It's fine.
No. You'll be fine.
Okay, good. What were some of the things that working those jobs taught you moving forward in your career?
That's a great question. I would say, and this is kind of coming from a leadership standpoint, is that there is no wrong or right way to really manage people because everyone is different, right? So the way I manage one person, it may not be the same how I manage somebody else. Um, I've always been clear that I never did like micromanaging. So I always said, okay, when I get into leadership positions, I wouldn't micromanage. So it taught me how to build a solid leadership skill that supports me. And that's why, they keep calling me back. Hey, we got a new project. Can you jump on? Um, I've been signed up to at least 50 different companies, but that doesn't always mean it's what roses and Callies, right? Like the downside to this industry is that it's not necessarily consistent.
Right.
So, there might be breaks in a year where I might not have anything for a month. So you have to be really, really good with money in this industry as well. You want to be able to save your money because you never know when it's going to be a slow period. So I would say save and supporting me with saving, building leadership skills. And I've met some phenomenal friends through this industry. So also being open to friendship and supporting people like, hey, I got this gig. Hey, we need another person. Can I pass this to you? Are you interested in doing this job?
Yeah.
So I think the resources as well. But one thing you said that I appreciate is that a lot of brand ambassadors now are known as the influencers on social media. But I'm like, girl, we was in the streets. We were the official brand ambassadors.
We official.
Official.
Yeah. Yeah.
Official.
And
So
it was it, you know, we got paid. Sometimes we got paid hourly. Sometimes we got paid like a base, you know, like a I can't think, like a
a flat rate.
Thank you, Bernice. Sometimes we got paid an hourly rate. Sometimes we got paid a flat rate. Sometimes we got to take home some of the things that, you know, we were marketing for. And we had to take pictures, but it wasn't like posted on social media. It was like take pictures so that we can send it to the client so that they know where we were, what we did, and all of that stuff. So that they knew that their brand was getting visibility. And it wasn't, we were just having fun and enjoying ourselves, and we didn't take ourselves so seriously. And I'm grateful for that, because I think that if we had to post on social media, it would have created some tension within the group dynamics. Whereas, you know, before we're all on even playing field and we're a community, a group, we're working together. I feel like sometimes now influencers don't have that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they gatekeep. And it's like, what am I gatekeeping? They have, like, these companies have plenty of money to spare and share. So, like, here it is. But it's a different time. And also, like, they're a lot younger. And, I mean, some of them are not. But, okay, let me stop. I'm done.
Well, I'm going to say one last point to what you just said. I remember I applied for an online influencer position with a makeup brand. And so they said, we want you to give us 30 seconds of you doing your makeup and talking it out. And so I'm like, oh, this is easy. I know how to speak and I know how to apply makeup. Even if they wanted a certain look, they didn't tell me that. They just wanted me to do something basic. So I did it. And, you know, it was, unfortunately, the client is looking for someone else. You know, that type of thing. And I knew it was because, okay, maybe my face is not as slender as it need to be, darling. My eyes are not chinky enough. My forehead is big like Rihanna.
Listen.
But I said, you know, I'm clear that these big brands, when it comes to their social media, they want the women who many times get the surgery, you know, wear the extensions, know all the latest techniques when it comes to makeup. And also, I don't think they were looking for a lot of people that look like us. So, I wasn't offended, but I just knew, I'm like, yeah, to get into the influencer role online is a little bit different. Oh, and also, to be quite frank, you need to have a certain amount of followers. They're not coming for somebody who has 1,000 followers. You need at least this 10,000 followers they want you to have.
Which is crazy. I don't even have 1,000 followers on this page or my personal page. Like, this page and my personal page combined gives me like 1,100. Right? And I'm okay with that. I also know that, like, it doesn't really matter what my follower count looks like. I can do the damn job.
Right.
And add a review. So, it's just a mess.
Yeah.
It's just a mess. Yeah. You know, earlier I was thinking about how I was going to introduce you, and I was like, I'm going to be like, she is a jack of all trades and a master of one. Because you got your masters, right? That's a good one, right?
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
You gotta be thinking and stuff.
You do. Your brain, the blood be flowing up there, girl. It be flowing. It be going boop, 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 boop. Yeah. It goes just like that. But yes, I actually got my master's in television production, and I decided to go that route after I worked for a production company in 2006 to 2007. It was a small production company in Harlem, New York. and Black owned. It was the only company that hired me after college, like after my undergrad. I applied for 50 jobs. Nobody bit the bullet. I even interned at MTV my last year in college, and they had an open role, a temp open role. And I applied. I thought I did good in the interview, and no, they went with somebody else. And even though they saw how hard of an intern I was, like, I mean, how hardworking I was as an intern, like it was 6 interns, and they literally called me, the worker bee, like Bernice running around, ripping and running, you know? So that made me think of some things like, out of college, I'm starting with entrepreneurship out of college. Like, is this going to be my life? And ever since then, when I would apply for full-time positions, nope.
You wouldn't get it.
Nope. God is like, that is not for you. I've applied for full-time positions. Even when I finished grad school, I worked at the full-time position I did have was still temp. I worked at Brooklyn College in the film department. And that was only for about 8 months. And then I just got back into marketing, working for one of my favorite companies that's out of New Hampshire. I will not name them here.
I know.
But
is it who I think? Is it that one?
It is that one. Yeah, that's how, that's the program we worked on when we did Ben and Jerry's.
Which so they're one of my favorite, my favorite programs.
Yeah,
Charmin and Ben and Jerry's, like, they are like here.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I would say top 3 programs in the country is going to be Ben and Jerry's.
Oh, yeah.
Like you said, we're giving out free ice cream. Nobody gonna beat that. I'm sorry. No.
That was amazing.
Right, but also Ben and Jerry's itself, just a beautiful company to represent and work for. So I just got back into marketing, and I just kept going, and now I'm here. I'm still doing it. I will say it gets to a point where, okay, I'm getting a little older now, even though you can't tell.
Because Black don't crack, and
because
Asian
don't crack. Okay, come on now.
What?
And I know I just have a few years left in this industry, so I do have to think about the next thing. And so that's why, I'm like, write the book. Started a small bit, another small business, because I know that I won't be doing this for so long. Even though they literally want me in the office.
Really?
Not them. I'm sorry, not them. A different company wants me in the office.
Okay. I was like, are you about to move?
No. I would not go there.
Okay. I would. You wouldn't go there? Why? It's too white? Sorry. I didn't mean to say it. I didn't mean for it to I didn't mean for it to come out like that. But y'all know what I mean. Oh,
ouch. 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 Okay, so let's just say it's too cold up there. It's too cold.
That's fair.
It's too cold.
Okay, that's better.
Yeah, and I think too. I feel like New Hampshire is super family oriented. I feel like being up there as a single person would be kind of hard to make friends, because everybody has their own, either have a partner or have their own family. Yeah. But that's just based on what I saw. I'm not saying that's true, but I don't know anyone that lives up there that's single.
Okay.
So I'm going to say because it's cold. And I don't want to be up there by myself. Because if I'm going to be up there by myself, I need somebody to keep me warm, because it's too cold in the winter. And I'm not going to waste my time doing that. I'm not going to do it.
Understood. So now you mentioned that you wrote a book.
Yeah.
Y'all, this is Bernice's book, How to Get a Degree in Celibacy. Hold on a second. Why are you out here in your room? Because she's reading her book, and we about to talk about your book. And your book, go in a room now.
Yes, honey. Yes. You know what's funny? I have to tell you this. The youngest person who read my book was 12 years old. Her
Ah.
mother let her read it at 12. And she
Ah.
told me her thoughts about it. Her mother reached out to me on
Uh-huh.
social media. I did not know this woman.
Uh-huh.
She bought my book. She read it first, of course.
Uh-huh.
And then she gave it to her daughter to read. And she asked her daughter to send me like a brief paragraph about what she liked about my book.
Okay. Ooh,
And
I love
it,
that.
it made my heart swell so big
Okay.
because what what I feel like the value of this book, it's not a hard book to read. Most people read this book in 2 or 3 days, probably even in a day. If you have a long flight, you'll finish it in a day. But I appreciated that mom trusted the words enough to actually let her daughter read it, even though it's talking about sex and
Yeah.
being abstaining from
Yeah.
it, you know. So yeah, it was a dope experience to
That's
have. And I've
good.
been having, people inbox me, send me messages about what they thought about the book and stuff like that. So I appreciate it. I really do.
That's good. She's not there yet. She only 10. So,
Okay.
but I do like that approach about like, allowing your preteen teen to read it to
Oh
be
yeah.
prepared for what's to come because
I would say
it's a part
it
of
should
our
be a
lives.
it should be a
It really
fresh
is.
a high school read. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
like freshman in high school
Yeah.
before all the hormones start
Yeah.
raging. Like the benefits of not doing it, right? Like just reminding them of the
Yeah.
benefits of not doing it, and
Yeah.
then different things they can do to release all that built up energy that they have as teens that they can't control.
Yeah. So, really quickly, because I got sidetracked as I was introducing the book. How to get a degree in celibacy: 10 steps to keeping your lips closed. Somebody take a screenshot quickly. I hope y'all took a screenshot. Okay. How did
Ooh,
you get to this point where you were like, first of all, how did you get to celibacy, and then how did you get to the point where you're like, I'm gonna write about it?
yes. So during, okay, no, 2010 is when I had a breakup from an ex-boyfriend, and I decided at that time I was going to be celibate for just a year. And this was like the year before I decided I was going to go back to grad school. And about 8 months into my celibacy at the time, or using the word abstinence too, because I kind of like to use that word better now.
Mm-hmm.
But during my journey of abstinence, I was like, I want something to do besides this marketing thing that I'm
Yeah.
doing, you know? So I decided to go to grad school, and I went to Brooklyn College for my grad degree. And when I went to meet one of the advisors who, give you an interview to see if you're fit for the program,
Mm-hmm.
she asked me if I had a boyfriend. And I'm like, what kind of question is that?
Like, I
Like,
don't
what that got to do
even
with
know if
me
I
getting
had a
into grad
boyfriend for
school?
grad school. Yeah.
What that got to do with me? So I told her, no. Like, I'm looking around, like, is there a camera around somewhere? And she said, well, I just wanted to warn you that the program is really intense.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of people who are in this program, I think it's just easier for someone single. And again, this is her assumption. I don't care how long she's been the advisor. I don't care how long. Like every person is
Yeah.
different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for her to say that, I thought it was kind of weird. But anyway, I wound up getting into the program. It was a very short. Was it not exclusive, but it's very tight knit group. It was only 10 people they let in every year,
Mm-hmm.
for this program. And so for those 2 years, I was like, well, I won't have time for dating. And her telling me that kind of made me think like, okay, maybe I should just remain celibate,
Oh yeah.
So, okay, now that made it 3 years. And then I leave school 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, let me get back out there, start dating. And I'm like, ooh, dating
Mm-hmm.
is not the same.
Right.
This is wild. And so I kind of got a little, I don't want to say the word scared, but that's online dating was pretty popping back
Yeah.
at that point,
Yeah.
so I'm like, I got to do all this just to meet somebody because I was always busy. And I was like, this is too much work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Going like dating sites, like I'd rather meet
In
someone in
person.
person, like let it be an authentic connection. And so I just kept going year after year. I'm like moving with life, making money, just going and going and going. And then it wound up being 10 years.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay, I knew that, but for some of you who are on here, y'all just learned
Is that
10 years.
backwards?
You know what? I feel like everything's been backwards, but I feel like when we like when I like watch it back, it'll be like forward.
Yeah,
But
a,
a decade of
a whole
celibacy.
decade. I went from 26 to 36. Yeah, yeah. And what got me to the book? So shout out to some of the people in the chat. Shout out to Sky. Shout out to Terrence. Um, you know, and some other friends I had. They was like, Bernice, you should write your story.
I mean, yeah. Yeah,
You
absolutely.
should write about this because not a lot of people are really talking about it, and I'm sure you're not the only one. So I thought about it,
Mhm.
and one day I had a dream,
Mhm.
and in the dream was a book, and it just had my name at the bottom.
Mm,
That's
okay.
all I saw. I literally just saw the bottom part. Like, boom. And I'm like,
I think I
oh
remember
my God.
that.
Like,
Yeah.
I need to write a book. And so how I came up with the long title, because one of my favorite movies is what is it?
How to Lose a
Uh,
Guy in 10 Days?
which
How
one?
to Lose a Guy in 10 Days? Oh,
No,
God.
the movie with Marlon Wayans with the long title. Don't be a menace in South
Because it's like
Central. I drink
Central,
and
bring
get
me
juice
into
in the
the
hood.
hood. Wait,
That's
that
why
was the inspiration for the title?
to make a long title. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's right. Don't be a menace to South Central. That's right.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Wait, did you send him a copy of your book?
Who, Marlon Wayans?
Yeah,
I
absolutely. And be like,
did.
your film is what led me to this long title for my book.
Yes.
You should give it a read.
I should. I actually should.
Bernice,
I
when was
should.
this book published?
2017.
And you didn't send it to him yet?
No.
Look, that's your
I mean, I can
that's
send him the audio, the audio, so he can listen to my voice, so he can, he can hire me as a voice
or
actor.
how about this? How about this? Wayans Brothers, whatever their production company is Wayans Brothers Production, right?
I
They
think so. I
could
think
buy
so.
the rights to the book and hire you to co-produce and co-direct a series for not Instagram, Netflix.
That'll be so lit. That'll be so
You know what?
lit.
I was skimming through the book and I was like, you know what? This should be made into a show. Like this would be so interesting and hilarious to watch as a show. With your and obviously I was reading it in your voice and I was like, oh, this is funny.
Aw, thank you. Thank you. It's funny enough that I initially was going to do a short film about it,
Wait,
but I just didn't move forward with it.
look what Sky wrote.
Marlon has his own company too. Crazy, I'm friends with his partner on Facebook.
Boom.
Oh,
So
he said, "Air Rashida with the ideas."
you know, I feel like I've been dormant for a very long period of time this year, but I'm starting to like spark back up.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we're gonna send Marlon a copy of the book,
Yeah.
and then we're going to write a treatment for the book and request a meeting to pitch the idea of the series of the book.
Now here's a question, though. Here's a question. This is a business question.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I can send the book without him stealing the idea,
It's
because that has happened
you know what?
for
That's a good
writers in
business
the past.
question. That's a good business question. I don't have the answer to that, but I'm sure we can find someone who does.
Yeah, I would have to make sure because honestly, the only celebrity like I handed my book to
Uh-huh.
is Stokely Williams from Mint
Oh,
Condition because he's my favorite
oh, I
singer.
know.
So, he always be seeing me backstage and stuff at his
You know,
shows, and I gave him a
okay,
book. And it's so funny because he's married, and I was telling him about celibacy, and he was like, "Oh, I'm not doing that."
okay.
I said, "Yes, I
Uh-huh.
understand." But one of his background singers who still sings with
Uh-huh.
him, I gave her a copy of the book as well, and she messaged me, and that she loved
Oh,
the book. Yeah.
wow.
So
That's
yeah, I don't think
good.
Stokely read it per se, but I did write it for him. Like I signed my book
Uh-huh.
and be like, you be signing stuff all
Uh-huh.
day. Let me sign something and hand it to you. And he was laughing. So
Oh
oh yeah, that was
my
an
gosh.
awesome moment.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, I just, man, I don't want to talk too much or ask too many questions about this because I want everybody to go get it. I want everybody to go get it and read it for
Yes.
themselves. So
Yes.
you can
Yes.
purchase this on Amazon.
Yes. You can purchase it on Amazon, or if you would like a signed copy and you would like me to ship it to you,
Mm.
you can go to bernicewooden.com.
Ooh, y'all heard it here first.
Yeah.
And then it's also an audiobook, right?
It is, and that is found on Amazon as
Okay.
well. Yeah,
See, this is, y'all, this is what entrepreneurs look like. Hello? This
yeah. This is
is
what
what
it looks
entrepreneurs look
like.
like.
Yeah, and what's funny? Sky's mentioning definitely think it's time for it to become a series film. Here's what I will say: what's awesome about books, even though I wrote this and it came out 2017, you can always rehash it, right? Like you can always bring it back to life. You can always change it around. That's one thing I love mostly about books is because they're long
Yeah.
lasting. They can last 20, 30 years from now, and then you'll have a series. And I'm not saying that's what I want my experience to be, but you can have a movie in 20 years from a book
Yeah.
that was written 20 years ago.
Right.
So,
Or a book that was written 100 years ago, even.
even 100.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful that that's an option for people who like to write. So if you want to write a book, please write a book. I also do classes. You need support in writing
I didn't know you did.
a book. Yeah. So I do
Really?
workshops too. All, but it's all for, that was virtual. I started those workshops during 2020. Yeah.
I just keep finding out more stuff.
Yeah.
Have you always been like a go-getter? Is that how you were born, or was it like a skill that you had to learn and hone over time?
Mm. I would say that I was always a go-getter.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like being home as much, to be honest. It was always just me and my mom, so I didn't really have siblings to play with. So
Mm-hmm.
at home, it was kind of boring.
Okay.
So went to school, had fun, had friends, even though I also dealt with bullying
Mm-hmm.
once I got to high school. But
Mm-hmm.
before that, I just didn't want to be home. I would go to my best friend's house who lived right around the corner
Mm-hmm.
and stay there as long as I could before mom is like, you need to come home and do your homework and I need you to, then you can go to sleep. So yeah, I feel like I've always had this in me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why too God is like, I don't want you in a cubicle. I don't want you behind that
Mm-hmm.
experience because it's so much bigger than yourself. Like for me, it's like I may not see the end goal, and that's something that I need to work on.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but the way my friends be rooting for me,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes I don't feel like I see it, but that's my own thing, right? I think we all have a level of insecurities or we all have our doubts about
Mm-hmm.
ourselves. But when I see how people be rooting for me, I'm like, ooh, this is
Mm-hmm.
dope. Like people see something in me that sometimes I just don't see. Like for a woman that I met, and this is a quick story. I
Mm-hmm.
went to a women's retreat in 2015, and she and I are still cool to this day. She lives in Hawaii though.
Mm-hmm.
And she called me 2 weeks ago, four times back to back. I have not spoken to her since last year.
Uh-huh.
And she said in a text message, she said, I know you see me calling you, pick up the phone.
Ooh.
And so I was with my friend at the time, and my friend was like, pick up the phone. She probably needs you for something. I called her back, and she said, I had a dream about you last night.
Mm-hmm.
And without me really disclosing what that dream was, I will say it made me cry. The man, what she saw in me
Mm-hmm.
was something that will impact millions of people.
Right.
And because she's also she's a spiritual guide as well. So let me just say that as well. Like
Okay.
she reads tarot, she does those things.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever she has a dream about somebody, she's calling them. And this is the first time, I've known her for 8 years, that she had a dream about me. So I know it's real and I know it's true, and I know that dream will be manifested.
Mm-hmm.
But it's beautiful, like I said, for people to see my future, even though I may not see it as clear as everybody else does.
Yeah. 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 You mentioned that sometimes you don't see the end, like like the end game. But I didn't want to cut you off. I wanted to let you finish. But my question now is, are we even supposed to? Are we even supposed to see that far ahead? Or are we only supposed to see a few steps ahead, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's a great realization. I think.
I mean, I, I'm sorry to cut you off again. I wonder, like if it's meant for some people to see that far ahead and for others to just see like a few tiles at a time. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. I think it's always smart to plan for the future,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I'm clear that there are some things that I want to do
Mm-hmm.
that I may not necessarily
Mm-hmm.
understand, but I know it's something that I need to do or want to do, and all the things. Let's say all that. But I think a lot of times too, to release the pressure of being that person at this moment is like, yes, I'm just being present with what I have now.
Right.
I'm being grateful for the things I have now. I'm manifesting what I
Mm-hmm.
want, and I get to mentally be prepared for the future, because I think a lot of us are rushing time to get to whatever that end goal
Mm-hmm.
is. And we've seen it tons of times. People like Steve Harvey became a millionaire, later in life,
Yeah.
closer to 40. Oprah with her show, even though she had her show early, she didn't start seeing the billions grow until she was in her 40s.
Right.
So I think that many of us couldn't handle how powerful our manifestations are, until we get older, until we have more knowledge, until we're more wise, because our goal is to get whatever we want in life and to actually
Mm-hmm.
keep it. It's not our goal to get it at 21 and then waste it all in 2 years,
Right.
like a lot of athletes do,
Right.
because they don't know how to manage their money.
Right.
But it just took me till the pandemic to realize how to save money, like how to manage money.
Girl, I'm
Yeah,
still learning.
yeah, yeah. And that's the thing. It doesn't necessarily end, because there's always new information to
Yeah.
learn. But for me to be like, okay, I have this goal, and let me separate my money into different accounts, so that goal will eventually come, instead of me trying to get all this money in one account and trying to split everything. Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of, so I do auto save on everything. Just save a little bit at a little bit at a time, until I get to my
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna write another book? Okay, wait, pause. Are you still celibate?
No.
So are you dating?
Well, okay. So let me put it like this. 2021, your girl thought she was gonna die. Okay. If I'm going to die and the world about to end because of this COVID thing, I don't think God want me in behind the pearly gates angry.
What?
I'm just saying. I don't think he want me all back up. I think he wanted me to release the stress.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And the tension.
Uh-huh.
Because if I'm going to be working for my God up there, I know I ain't getting none. I'm clear. I don't think he got rooms up there for that. So I know only the physical have that experience.
Okay, so wait, let's stop. Okay, let's stop.
Okay.
Let's pause right there for a second.
Okay.
I feel like there would be though, because it is a natural but also divine experience.
I want to know what Scott thinks. Scott, are they having sex in heaven?
Are we going to hell for this conversation? I feel like
no, because you just said it. If you think sex is in heaven, I'm thinking it's not in heaven. We just having a debate about.
Okay.
people.
So let's put the question to the people: is there sex in heaven?
Yeah.
I honestly feel like there would be no sex in hell. What's more of a punishment?
But here's the thing. I think so. Look what Scott said.
Girl, I ain't dead. I feel like, so if we take away what humans in society have turned sex to be,
Mm-hmm.
if I've just read what Angela, my new song, just wrote, but if I think about it in the way that if we strip away what society and human beings have made sex to be and think about it from the standpoint of you know of well, obviously we're not procreating in heaven, but
Mm-hmm.
like it's something that is essentially gifted to us, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many other species experience sex as pleasure as opposed to generating population. There's a word for it. I'm drawing a blank right now,
Mm-hmm.
but like I feel like that is something that is special and divine. So
Mm-hmm.
why wouldn't it be in heaven?
Well, I know Angela mentioned it, and I also feel like I think once we get up there, we won't remember what sex is.
Okay, good
I
enough.
don't think, yeah, I don't think that that'll even be in our memory. That even though it's well, I don't know, because if a parent who has passed on and a child has passed on,
Right.
I wonder if they greet each other as mother and child.
Right.
You know how we say, "Oh, I'm gonna see you,"
Thank
later.
you. Procreating. Thank you.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm gonna see you when
Yeah.
when it's time for me to go. I wonder if people remember who their spouses are, who their children are, or if we're really just souls, working
That
for God.
did what we did, that had the human experience, and now we're back up, almost like to report.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I love how we went here with
I
this.
do too.
I'm telling you now, only me and my Pisces will go here with this. Only me and my Pisces.
Because sometimes I be having philosophical conversations with myself, and I don't get to have them very often outside of myself. But like that's something. First of all, I rarely speak about religion,
Mm-hmm.
and I also don't really speak very much about sex,
Mm-hmm.
other than the fact that like I'm not getting it, or I want. Well, yeah. Anyway, moving on. I don't really speak about those things. There are like a select few people that I do talk about that stuff with. I never thought I'd be having this conversation on live, though. But there are things that I think about when I'm like by myself. I'd be like, huh, that's interesting. And then life happens, and I gotta go live life, so I can't, yeah, I can't, the thought is gone, and I'm like, oh, I lost it, I forgot, whatever. But yeah, only Only yes.
Only us.
Only yes. So the reason why I asked you if you're still celibate, if you're dating, all that stuff, when can we get a book two? Like, what would be book two?
So funny enough, someone else I know, they're no longer a friend, and that's okay. We
Mm-hmm.
can talk about friendships too, but um, he was like, when you get into a relationship again, you should write a book about that.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I think that's a good
Mm-hmm.
idea, um, I don't want people to think like I'm a specialist when it comes to abstinence. Like this is just my experience.
This was purely coincidental.
Yeah. So I wouldn't. However, I'm actually thinking about a children's
Mm-hmm.
book that I have a huge idea around. Definitely has nothing to do with sex at all, but it has to do with identity.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and that's all I'll say about that. But that is something that I really, really want to do. I've been considering this book for the past 3 years. Um, I've written out some parts of it, but that's what I would love for my next project to really be is a children's book.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's lovely. I like that.
yeah.
I could see you like visiting schools and reading the children's book. Oh my gosh.
I'd be like just like this. All right, guys. Today we are going to read "The Cat in the Hat"
Like that
by
though? The
Bernice
cat in the hat.
Wooden.
Like that? You
The
mentioned
cat said. I might have to get that New York out of me because these
Listen,
these teachers are going to be like, "Ma'am, I'm gonna need you to
no,
stop
no.
saying so get
Listen,
to."
listen. The children need authors from all walks of life, from all corners of the world, especially from New York.
Oh,
Hello.
come on now. That's
Okay.
the thing about being down here in
Mm-hmm.
Maryland. I love it so
Mm-hmm.
much. It's so funny how at first when I moved down here, I didn't want to tell people where I was. I didn't realize, even though I'm a very open person, I
Uh-huh.
am a private about a
Yeah.
few things.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important to have that as a human in general.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think when people know everything about you, they know how to manipulate, they know how to distract,
Mm-hmm.
because not everybody around you are good people.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you just don't know.
Yeah.
So when I first came down here, I was like, nobody needs to know, only my friends and the people close to me.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I was doing No Hump Wednesdays, I wouldn't even mention it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I got to a point where, Bernice, it's okay.
Yeah.
Tell the people where you at.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm not going anywhere for
Yeah.
any time
You
soon.
like it there.
I like
Yeah.
it. I like it down
uh, you, when we were talking just a minute ago, you said, you mentioned a friend who's no longer a friend, and we can talk about
here.
friendships. I, hmm. Let's talk about friendships, I guess.
Yeah.
I've I have so many thoughts. I have so many questions. But also, we talk off of IG Live.
We
So,
do.
how do you end a friendship?
Ooh,
What's
that's a
a
good
good way and
question.
what's a not so good way?
So I'll tell you with me. Okay, so I've been in friendships from the start of time.
Mm-hmm.
I think once I got out my mama's womb, I had two friends and then I just had one. Because I had low tolerance, low patience.
Okay.
If it's something that somebody did I didn't like, oh, now I can't trust you, now we can't be friends.
Okay.
Um now as I'm older,
Mm-hmm.
I have I have decided in order for me to maintain the friendships that I have, I cannot have high expectations for everyone that I'm friends with.
Yeah.
So, what I expect out of you, Rashida, may not be the same thing I expect out of Sky,
Mm-hmm.
and vice versa.
Right.
I didn't think of friendships in that way before, though. I thought, like, if I could call Rashida and ask her to support me in this way,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not even talking about
Yeah.
financially, I'm just talking about
Just like anything.
anything. Even if I needed advice, okay, Rashida's going to present the advice in this way, so Sky's going to provide it in this way.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to be okay that different opinions.
Mm-hmm.
I can't take different opinions personal.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot be caught up in pretty much putting everybody in the same category. Everybody's not in the same category. People who I thought were friends were actually associates.
Mm-hmm.
People who I considered a best friend was actually a friend. You know, and I'm still working on what that looks like for me.
Mm-hmm.
But even to the point where now I understand why people don't even really use the word best friend anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because what my definition of a best friend is going to be may not even be the definition what I thought my best friend's definition was.
Right.
So what I've come to terms with when it comes to people and me getting older,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to set anybody up for success. Oh, no, up for failure. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Of course, I want to set you up for success.
Yeah.
But I don't want to set anybody up for failure to support me in something or do something, and they can't do it, and now I'm disappointed, and then now we're no longer friends.
Right.
It's more about, okay, this is this person's capacity.
Yeah.
And now I just had to ask someone else.
Yeah.
But I would actually like to talk about the friend I'm no longer friends with.
Okay.
I have known him for 12 years.
Uh-huh.
It was urgent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I needed him. It
Right.
was urgent.
Mm-hmm.
It was an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
It was, nobody else was available.
Right.
He lives about 45 minutes from me, and he made no effort to support me.
Mm-hmm.
A few years ago, I considered him a best friend, but now it's like, okay, let's just, and then at the 20, what? Say it again.
Almost like, let's see where we're at. Let's rekindle this friendship.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Because in 2019, we had a situation. We stopped being friends, and then I saw him last year. We started talking again as friends. I'm like, okay, maybe we could start being friends again.
Mm-hmm.
But after that whole situation happens,
Mm-hmm.
and him not showing up for me, it literally only hurt briefly. I'm going to tell you why it only hurt briefly that he didn't show up for me.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why it only hurt briefly is because I expected him to do something that I don't think he would do for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because he does not know how to be a friend.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that, and I'm clear, is because he doesn't have a lot of friends. And that's not any judgment towards him and who he is. Some people don't care to have friends. They like, I got 2 friends, I'm good. You know, some people in this world, like, I got my 1 friend, that's all I need.
Yeah.
But based on, his history and what he shared with me when it comes to friendships, okay, I can understand why.
Yeah.
And so, again, putting people in different categories. All right, I have my associates, I have my friends, I have my best friends, I have close friends. I even have close friends that I don't consider, close friend is after the friend.
Yeah.
You're a friend, then you're a close friend. And then the upper echelon, the best friend.
Echelon, the best friend.
Yeah.
So, I consider my best friend family.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Because if we family, there's certain ways you should show up, and there's certain ways that you should not show up.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I'm reevaluating everyone in my life right now.
Mm-hmm.
Every single person. Yeah. And it's not to make anybody scared. I mean, that's not my goal.
It's not like,
but it's really
no, go ahead, finish. No, because I know people who are like, oh, I guess I'll be cutting some friends off soon. It's like, oh my gosh, why are you making people so anxious? Right. Who are you? Like the King of England? Like, chill out.
Right. And that's the thing. I don't want it to be that. But I just know where to put people now.
Yeah.
It doesn't, and some friendships, the labels that I thought they are not the labels. And that's okay too.
Yeah. Yeah. I have rarely been the person to like cut people off. I'm not the person who cuts people off. Like as far as friends go, I'm not like, I don't know, I don't like how this person did me. Well, no, that's I no, I don't cut them off. I might yell at you if you upset me. If especially if we're close enough that I can be like, yo, what you know what I mean? Which there are people that have been like, yo, I don't even feel like talking to you right now because you're pissing me off. Right? But I've never been the one to be like, I'm cutting this person off. It's always been the other way around. It's always been like, yeah, I'm not gonna talk to her anymore. Or whatever. I've never ended a friendship.
You've never ended a friendship?
I've had friendships end, but not by my doing. Ain't that crazy?
Let me ask you a question. Does that mean that you have not created boundaries with any of your friends?
That's good. Huh. I have boundaries because I have friends. There are people that have been in my life for 20 plus years. Okay. And there are boundaries. We had to find them, right? For all of us. But they're there. But I think that growing up as an only child in my household, I always wanted to like people please. I was the only child, so I needed friends. So I used to have to go out and make friends, and I didn't want to not have friends. You know what I mean? And so, but I'm also not one of those people who like collects friends. Like I don't have a lot of friends. You know what I mean? And I'm okay with that, right? There are periods of time where I was like, damn, I wish I had like a group of friends. I have friends. None of my friends are like from a group. You know what I mean? You know how like there's like a group of friends? It's like, 4 or 5 girls, they've known each other for years and they, they're all, I don't have friends like that.
Nor me either.
Yeah, my friends from high school, we all know each other, but I'm their friends and they aren't necessarily each other's friends, but we all know each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
I forgot where I was going with this, but yeah, I feel like I was a people pleaser and I always wanted to have friends. And so I would just, boom. I'm gonna say it because I had this conversation with you and somebody else who's here where I said I wasn't a good friend in this one situation in particular. I wasn't a good friend to that person because I didn't check their bad behavior. Okay, I'm very aware of that. Like I'm aware of that. And there are other people who have stopped or ended our friendship. No, I don't. Angela wrote it. I don't like upsetting people. But also, there are people that I'm not afraid to upset. Her being one of them, because I know. We gonna be there. She pisses me off. I piss her off. But that's my sister, basically. So that's family.
Right.
But I just, I might have to sit with that. But when you were saying that, like you cut people off, I was the exact opposite. I didn't cut people off. I didn't cut people off. I wasn't like, I'm not messing with this person. I'd just be like, friends, and then they'd be like, not my friend, and I'd be like, okay. I mean, I might have been bothered by it, but at this big old age, I'm like, you know what? God did what he's supposed to do.
Girl, I was Edward Scissorhands. I was trying everything. And you know what it was? It would be one thing that they did I didn't like, and I'll be like, 10 years, friends, fuck it.
I was not like that. I'd be like, why would they do that? And I'd be like, oh, maybe they're just having a bad day and give them the benefit of the doubt. That was my whole thing. I'd be like, oh, maybe this is a one-time thing.
Yeah.
I had a friend, I don't know what happened, we spoke one day, and then we didn't speak again in months. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, we're not friends no more. That's cool. I mean, I'm not mad about it, but I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, I didn't actively be like, I just don't think I want to be friends with her anymore. But it
Yeah.
was, I realized that she hadn't reached out, and I was like, am I about to?
Mm-hmm.
No. Because also, she's another one whose bad behavior I allowed to go unchecked. So I'm kind of just like, oh. But that was a shorter friendship. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. Like,
Right.
whatever. I think now I'm just, I don't know. I don't know if I'll cut anybody off. Like, I don't know if I'll still be like, I'm cutting that person off. Unless you, actually, I did cut somebody off. Okay. I did cut somebody off.
Was it over the phone? Was it through
Oh,
text?
we worked together, and I was just, she was a bitch, and so I was a bitch. And
That was it. Yeah.
that was it. And we worked together,
Got you.
and the work environment got hostile.
Yeah.
And
It's
I'm
kind of
like,
hard to do that at work. It is it's different to do that at work though.
yeah.
To cut
But
somebody off.
I remember she reached out to me around my birthday, and I was like, I didn't even respond. And somebody was like, don't be like that. She's trying to reach out, blah, blah, blah. You know, be the bigger person. I'm like, why I gotta be the bigger person? I don't want to be the bigger
Mm-hmm.
person. This was a few years ago, but
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I want to be the bigger person.
I'm kind of like that sometimes too. I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be the bigger person. It doesn't take a lot of energy to be the bigger person, to be honest. I think we've put so much pressure on it
Mm-hmm.
that no, actually it just holds you accountable. Like, and you know, there's a level of maturity
Yeah.
there. Like, okay, let me step up. But it's not hard to be the bigger person. Here's what I think, and this is what we spoke about on the phone, is, I get caught up now as I get closer to 40. What I get caught up now is like people so quick to call me their friend.
Okay.
So like this year I've had three, hung out with me literally for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And was like, you're my new best friend.
Ooh.
Now, if you know anything about Bernice, you know Bernice is a literal bitch. I'm sorry. Like, you can't say that to me because I'm like, actually, we are not best friends.
Best friend? What?
That, actually. But what I've realized is that people love being around me because I bring the fun.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Yes, we can have fun, we can joke, we can crack all day. Me making someone else laugh brings me joy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm clear about that. And me laughing all day brings me joy too. I think that's why a lot of times I don't have a lot of difficult conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying I can't have them, but a lot of times I don't have them. Because I'm okay with people looking at Bernice and like, Bernice bring the joy, the fun,
Yeah.
right? So I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also clear that I do not want to feel like I'm somebody's new friend and I can't rely on them the way I need to, because that's what friends do.
Yeah.
So we haven't even tested the waters yet for us to even use the word friends.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's such an important word for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need us to, and I'm not one of those people, oh, it has to be a whole load of drama. I'm not one of those people because I don't do drama either. But what makes you a friend? What makes our connection to the point where, actually, you are my friend? I appreciate you. Can you hold my secrets? Can you, can we go have a good time and, you're like, I'm gonna treat you tonight. Next week, I'm gonna treat you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a level to this. And that's why I said, okay, we cool, but let's just be acquaintances for now.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't say that, but that's what I be wanting to say. In my head, like when they be like, oh, you my new best friend, I'll be like,
Would you ever address that? If someone was ever, if if would you ever be like, thank you, I just think that we need a little more time before we can put that label on
I
us?
said that this year to one of
Dang.
those people. I did. Because I was tired of hearing it. Like, it was the third person who said it to me. I was like, please, please slow down.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I said. I said, please slow down. I don't want any anxiety thinking about it. Let's just go with the flow,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
said. I said, please, let's just go with the flow.
Okay. What is something that you hope for your friendships, new and old, in the future? Like, what do you want your friendships to look like moving forward?
I like that. I want my friendships to be genuine, authentic, fun, um, strong.
Mm-hmm.
I want my friendships to be loving,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and a group of people that just respect my boundaries and I respect theirs. That I'm not, I don't consider myself to be hard to be friends with.
Mm-hmm.
I know sometimes I may not reach out, but I think that's just due to age because I'm not the only person who goes through that. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have responsibilities and it's keeping you out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
But I don't think that at all makes me a bad friend because I think any of my friends can call me and if they need something and if I have it, I'll give it to them.
Yeah.
So I don't think that at all makes me someone that shouldn't be considered a good friend.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. That's what I'm looking for in my friendships.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Y'all, if y'all have questions for Bernice, because we covered a lot. We covered marketing. We covered celibacy. We covered friendship. If y'all have questions for Bernice, please drop them in the chat, like now. Okay? I know y'all got questions, so stop acting like that.
I like what Terrence said. My best new acquaintance.
My best new
Yes.
acquaintance. What's up, Terrence?
You are my best new acquaintance. Yes. I like that.
I'm making some new acquaintances at my job. We'll see how it goes.
But that's cool, though. I think it's okay to have acquaintances.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a negative word. I don't think it's a negative thing.
Yeah.
I think that, but I'm clear. I'm not going to go to my acquaintances like, hey, can you come with me here or come with me to my doctor's appointment? Like,
right. Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
You know?
I get it.
But yeah, it's cool. Acquaintances, yeah, let's go out to the bar, let's have a drink, let's talk, let's chat.
Yeah. What you got in store? What you got in store? I feel like you got stuff brewing. What you got brewing?
They used to call me a witch.
What you got brewing in the pot? What you coming up with next? What you got going on?
I don't know if I can tell y'all that. Y'all know I'm a witch. No, I'm joking. So I really want to get down on this children's book, to be honest. I need to because my heart keeps calling me back to it, and I really got to get back into it. And so I'm going to say the children's book.
Okay.
I will be also starting a podcast soon. So I'm going to be switching No Hump Wednesdays to the podcast format.
Okay.
And those are the two things that I'm seriously focused on right now.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for you to come back with No Hump Wednesdays.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That part.
Because I could really use the support and the guidance.
But no. Now, what do you mean? You mean from the interviews?
Yeah, from the interviews. I want to know what y'all got going on, what y'all going to be talking about, all of that.
Oh, I like that. Thank you. I had a good time. 4 seasons. That was 40 episodes.
That's a lot.
40 people. Yes. Well, no, it wasn't 40. I had one person come back twice. So 39 people.
No. Well, it's still 40 episodes.
Yes, 40 episodes, 39 people. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've had a good time. I shared some personal stuff on there.
Mhm.
I shared some personal stuff. Shout out to Anita Kopach. She joined earlier in the
Mhm.
live.
Mhm.
Um, she's one of my favorite interviews that I've done, and she's such a powerful woman. She's so amazing.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was one of my favorite interviews I've done was with Anita. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, what did Sky say?
You are the principle of your connections. Every level of a relationship, there is a graduation or a demotion. Listen, it is up to you to find out who deserves what.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I agree with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I also think that it's okay for like the promotions and demotions to fluctuate. Like if someone is demoted, they might be able to work up to a promotion. You know what I mean?
Yes. And that's where I am
Okay.
too. But here's the T with what is said,
Mm-hmm.
right? Either promotion or demotion.
Mm-hmm.
When people were instead of me demoting somebody, that's when I would cut them off.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I learned the difference. Like, Bernice, you're too old for that. It ain't, I don't need to cut somebody off.
Mm-hmm.
But you have been demoted. So here's what I will say about the friendship I spoke about earlier and how he didn't show up for me, how I wanted him to show up for me. I, in tune, well, kind of, sort of, said, okay, maybe it could just be a business relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it don't have to be a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to call me and ask me how I'm doing because
Mm-hmm.
that's what friends do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you couldn't show up for me the way I wanted you to show up for me as a friend and you could not do that, and I literally needed
Yeah.
support.
Yeah.
Bernice doesn't really call anybody for support.
Right.
Terrence can tell you, Scott can tell you.
Right.
If I need it, it's because I need it. And if you tell me no when I really need it, you will be demoted. I'm sorry. I don't have capacity to think of it any other way.
Yeah.
So with me demoting him and dropping him all the way down to an acquaintance, I said maybe I'll keep the business relationship. But honestly, I don't think I even want to do that.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta let it go.
Yeah. And it hurt just a little only because, like I said, we just rekindled the friendship
Yeah.
less than a year ago.
Yeah. Understood.
So I don't feel like it's all those years because that's what the first issue was.
Yeah.
So yeah. So what I am trying to figure out now is, should I tell him or just let it fade out? Because what I normally do, like how I used to do it, people will know I'm cutting them off. Do me a favor, don't call me again. Thank you.
Just let it fade out.
Okay. Yeah.
Just let it fade out.
Yeah. Because, girl, I'd be like,
oh, girl, get it.
Yeah. Cause yeah, I gotta fade because I'm lethal with the tongue.
I
know. Let me tell. Hey, no pun intended.
What?
But hey,
oh, Bernice. Oh,
just saying. I'm just saying. Well, see, now I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry, but the reason why I know that you're lethal is because you got me all the way together about a month or so ago. I shared something with Bernice, and she was like,
that was my face on the phone. Yes, it was.
This is what she said. She said, "Bitch, I can't do this with you no more." And so I got it together.
And I had to tell y'all, please know I don't use the word bitch a lot. I did call myself a bitch one time tonight. And I did call Rashida a bitch close to a month ago. But that's like my bitches for the year. I'm done. I will never call her. Because that's, we've come to the age, too, where we don't even really need to be using that word anymore.
Yeah.
But I was straight up fed up with you. I was fed up. Girl. Fed up. I was like, you can't be calling me with this anymore. I think I even said it. I said, you can't be calling me with this anymore.
You said, because I am invested and I need a resolution.
Yes. Because I'm all about the resolution.
And you said, I've been on this roller coaster with you and I can't do it anymore.
More. I'm queasy. I'm nauseous. I don't like roller coasters. I want to go up. I'm going to do the climax, and I'm going to bring
Wait,
it
let
down
me
now
see
to land.
Bernice. I didn't see
Oh, yes.
that. Oh, Bernice.
Yeah.
I know. I see. I know. I be stressing y'all out. I know I do.
Stress
I know.
the hell out.
I
And I
be stressed.
say, you will not do this to me. You will not raise my blood pressure. First of all, you will not raise my blood pressure. I'll tell you that right now.
And what's crazy is I stress all of y'all out about a bunch of different things.
Oh, my God. Well, thank
I
God it's the same thing because we would be on a conference call talking about your
because
ass.
I stress about everything, and so
Yeah.
some people know some things, some other people know other things. Some people know everything. I feel bad for them. Angela, she right there. Sorry, but you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
yeah, because I stress about everything. And you know what it is if I'm not in alignment, I overthink everything, and I just have to get into alignment. Once I'm in, it's once I'm in it, I'll
Uh-huh.
be like, okay, I get it. Things are clear. Like things are starting to get like you and I talked, and I was clear,
Yes.
and so and even though I and even me being clear about that, I'm also clear about things outside of that now.
Yeah.
So I'm like back. I'm not fully in it, but I'm like, if this was alignment, I'm like right here, right? If alignment was
I
my
don't
nose,
understand.
if a,
Wait. Is alignment inside your hands? What am I?
yes, if alignment is my
Oh,
nose,
okay.
I'm like right here. I'm like at my cheek. This is me right there.
Ah, okay. That's what we doing. Okay.
Yeah, this is the best way I could describe it.
Listen, I think it is good to see what your friend said here. It says, I feel like when we cut people off at the first instance, we're not allowing them to be human.
Mm-hmm.
Humans are flawed and will forever make mistakes. Sometimes it's a cutoff, but sometimes it's
Sometimes,
an opportunity to practice forgiveness and to strengthen the bond in how you get through the issue.
true.
That's a valid
That
point.
is a valid point. But then after the 10th time, it got to be snip,
Yeah, and
snip, snip.
see, I don't do tens. Tens is not my round number. I think three.
Uh-huh.
I think three times is fair to be like, not that, not even that you cut them off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I feel like there's a fine line with people being human
Mm-hmm.
and being flawed,
Mm-hmm.
and also intentionally not supporting you or helping you when you
Yeah.
need the help.
Yeah.
There's a fine line there because I have, I mean, I'm not perfect. I don't want y'all to think I'm perfect
Mm-hmm.
because, I mean, maybe
But you're
this
a Leo.
is what
Sorry.
perfection looks like in a dictionary like this. Maybe that's what it looks like, but I'm not at all perfect, right? But I think, I think in many ways, a lot of my friends have been upfront
Mm-hmm.
with me and they told me in certain ways how they, certain instances like, oh, this is how I wish you would show up for me, and
Mm-hmm.
all this stuff. Or Bernice, you didn't have to say it in that way. Um, and I recalibrate and then I do different.
Yeah.
But it's very hard for me as an adult for me to let somebody fall into, oh, they're just human and flawed when you really needed that person. It's hard for me to give that distinction. It's hard. I'm sorry. And that's just me. Maybe with you, Rashida, it's not that hard for you. Maybe you would be like, okay.
But the problem is that it's not hard. It's a little too easy. That's the problem.
Mm,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm quick to be like, okay, maybe. But right now, I feel like I'm very like lazy about it. I'm just like, oh, you stop talking to me? That's fine. But it also depends on the person.
Right. Because that's important.
Yeah.
It depends on the person. I'm not going to have those same expectations for an acquaintance. I mean, I consider this person a friend.
Yeah. I also sometimes think about, when people talk about their circle of friends, I think it's more like a web. I don't think it's like a circle. You know how like a spider web is like, it's not perfectly circular.
Right.
It's jagged, and there are branches out. I think like that's. I think friendship is more like a web and not a circle.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
I've been thinking about that a lot lately because I'm gonna tell you why I've been thinking about it. I have a spider, and he likes to build webs in the corner of my windowsill, and I keep cleaning it up and keep hoping that I killed him in the process, and he doesn't die. He just builds another web.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
I was like, yeah.
Come on, analogy.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
I'm surprising myself sometimes. Ooh,
That's a beautiful analogy, though. It's true.
Yeah.
It is true. But see, that spider is strong. That spider keeps showing up. So that's the friendship you don't actually want to get rid of.
Right.
You don't want to kill it off.
He killed the moth. I watched him cocoon it and everything. It was awesome.
Because he's there to protect you.
Yeah.
He is there to protect you. Did I tell you what happened when I tried to kill a spider in 2020?
What happened?
I don't kill spiders no more, y'all.
What happened?
Bump that. I reached to kill the spider, got a frozen arm. Couldn't lift my arm up all the way straight until a year later. But killing a spider.
Oh no.
I don't do that no more. I'm going to let that little eight-legged thing crawl all up and through.
Oh my gosh.
But like you said, I'll take his home down. I'm going to take the webs down. But you're going to have to make a home somewhere else. But make sure you hide it so I don't see it.
He won't leave that corner. I've cleaned that corner so many times. And I'm like, is he gone? And then like, it's a new web.
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right. I won't take down your web so often. I'll let you hang a little bit. You know. So he's been hanging there for like, I don't know, 2 weeks now.
Yeah. Listen. It is what it is.
It is what it is. He killed the moth. I watched him cocoon it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
He's protecting you.
And nutrition. Yeah.
Shit, I like National Geographic. I'll be all up in this bitch with a what's that? Not a telescope.
Magnifying glass.
Magnifying glass.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna clean the web and see if he builds one back again.
He is.
I feel
you already said he does.
I'm excited.
And here's the thing. But here's the thing. You just said it. If we keeping up this analogy, you said you're gonna take it down again to see if he's gonna build it up again. You don't need to test him no more. You don't need to test him no more. He gonna do what he doing because you already tried it twice.
Right.
That's who he is.
Right.
And that's how some friendships are. And that's the thing. Let people show you who they are.
And as complicated as it is, and as much as I don't understand it, I appreciate it in its beauty.
Yes.
Come on now. Yo, that was good. That was good. We did it.
Just playing.
We did it. We talked about sex in heaven. We talked about a spider web in relation to friendships.
Come on now.
We did it. This was a good one. This was a good conversation. I knew that it would be. When I posted it, I was like, ooh. I was like, y'all know I had to have my girl on. Y'all know I did.
I'm so happy you brought me. Thank you, Rashida.
I'm glad you said yes.
Now, why would I say no?
Okay, fair. You know why? It's not about you. It's about me. I have this, but we're going to get it together. I'm going to get it together.
Yeah, get that together.
I always think that people are going to tell me no.
No.
Always. So.
And I'm the opposite. When people tell me no in my head, I'm like, why though?
Why did you tell me no? When people tell me no, I'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
What? I haven't had, here's the thing about reaching out to people for interviews. I haven't had anybody tell me no. Only had one guest that said, can you please prepare the questions for me? And it was her manager who asked for the questions in advance. Okay. And I think that was more because they may not do a lot of interviews.
Okay.
So they wanted to be prepared. And that's fair. But telling me no. I don't think anybody told me no.
I haven't had anybody tell me no, but I have had people cancel for a multitude of reasons. You know,
Right.
I don't blame any of that on them. But
Right.
yeah, but when they do cancel, I'm like, oh, okay, that's, you know, it's totally fine. And then I get nervous. Oh, what am I going to do? Who am I going to have them? What is it? You know what I mean? But I
Yes,
don't think that people are going to tell me no. Like, it's something I got to work on. All of my friends who are here, y'all know I stress y'all out. I stress my own damn self out. If you are not following Bernice, please go follow her at Be Nice Productions. That's BENICE PRODUCTIONS on Instagram. Okay, she's a writer, she's a director, she's the author of How to Get a Degree in Celibacy. If you do not have this book, go get it. I'm going to link it in. I'm going to link it.
Oh, thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very much.
Y'all buy it for yourself, buy it for your friends.
Bye
Christmas is
for the
coming.
young adults in your
Buy
life.
it for
The
the
young adults.
adults in your
Mhm.
life. Christmas is coming.
Yeah.
How much? I was gonna like see if you had the price on the book, but it's not on the book. Just go to Amazon and get the book. How to
Just
Get a
get it.
Degree in
Yeah.
Celibacy: 10 Steps to Keeping Your Lips Closed by Bernice L. Wooden. She's also a coach and she's a leader and all the damn things.
All things. And,
All the things.
and we're only just beginning.
You've only just begun. Okay? I don't know the
The
rest of the words.
romance is not
Okay, there it
over.
is. That's right. The romance is not over. The romance of your life is not over. You've only
It's not.
just begun. Yo, the way that this interview has gotten y'all, we just keep pulling stuff out of here and giving it to you. Hello?
Listen, you know we can talk all night. These people gonna get
I
tired.
know. So let's end this so that I can call you on the phone.
Okay. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you, Rashida, for having me.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you guys. Remember, tune in next week. Hopefully.
No,
I don't have.
don't do
That's
that.
right.
Don't do that.
Okay. Tune in next week for a new episode of Shifts and Giggles. If you or someone you know would like to be on Shifts and Giggles, please shoot me a DM. I have slots open for October and November. Also, this episode is going to go on YouTube by tomorrow. So you can check all episodes on YouTube tomorrow. If you just want to listen to it, you can check it out on YouTube Music. I don't know who has YouTube Music, but it's there. So there.
There and there.
There and there. Thank you again for staying and hanging with me and Bernice, and I will see you next week. I'm so
Peace.
goofy.
I'm goofy too, girl. You already know. Call me, girl.
Okay.